Hi you guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing so well today. I recently did a skincare video showing you my skincare routine using Tretinoin. I got a bunch of questions afterwards, so I want to go ahead and film this video. This is going to be more of a beginner's guide using Tretinoin. I'm going to give you all of my tips to reduce your chances of irritation when you're using Tretinoin, and I'm going to share with you exactly how you can apply it to your skin when you are just starting out. Tretinoin is a really amazing ingredient, but it's not as straightforward as just incorporating it into your skincare routine and then seeing those amazing smooth and clear skin results weeks later. It can be a little bit tricky. So if you are someone who has just started using Tretinoin, if you're thinking about using it, or maybe you've already started using it and you're experiencing a bit of irritation, keep watching this video. We are going to dive in. But before I do so, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Sarah. I'm an esthetician in Georgia, and this channel is all about skincare, self-care, and beauty maintenance, and I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. And if you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It helps out my channel so much. And let's go ahead and get into the video. So Tretinoin is a prescription topical medication that is part of the retinoid family. And it's typically prescribed to treat things like acne, fine lines, wrinkles, any form of hyperpigmentation like melasma, dark marks, age spots. And it can really be a very transformative ingredient to the skin, and it definitely was for me too as I was going through my 20s and I was dealing with a lot of cystic acne. It really did help to clear and smooth out my skin. The downside about using Tretinoin is that when you first start applying this topical medication to your skin, you might go through an adjustment period called retinization, and during this period you might experience things like excessive dryness, flaking, peeling, redness, and your acne might get worse before it gets better. This doesn't happen to everybody, but it can happen. And I have seen so many people stop using Tretinoin really early in the game because of this, but if you can get through this adjustment period, it can be really worth it. But at the end of the day, this retinization period, it's just not fun to go through. It can be really uncomfortable, and it's just not the most pleasant thing to look at. So let's get into my tips to really minimize those chances of irritation when we're using Tretinoin. So tip number one has to do with your cleanser. Now your cleanser really does matter when it comes to using Tretinoin because it really sets the tone for the rest of your skincare routine. So when you are choosing a cleanser, the best thing to do is to go with a hydrating and gentle cleanser. You want to avoid any foam cleansers, any exfoliating cleansers, cleansers with enzymes, or any cleansers with AHAs or BHAs. And even though these cleansers can be so beneficial for the skin, they do have the potential to disrupt your skin barrier. And Tretinoin is active enough, it already has the potential to dry out your skin, so you don't want to start out your skincare routine by using a cleanser that's going to go ahead and dry or strip your skin. Also, anytime that you do use an exfoliating cleanser on your skin, the ingredients that you use after that cleanser will penetrate deeper into your skin, and we really want to avoid that when you're using your Tretinoin, because trust me, it'll penetrate deep enough into your skin already, and starting off with that exfoliating cleanser is only going to increase your chances of irritation. I also got a few questions about using foam cleansers. Now foam cleansers can be really helpful for controlling the oil on our skin, but they can also be a bit stripping to our skin. So on nights when you're using your Tretinoin, avoid that foam cleanser and instead use that foam cleanser on nights when you are not using your Tretinoin. Another thing that you want to make sure that you are avoiding is using any harsh cleansing towelettes like makeup wipes, or being too rough with your face towel on your skin. A lot of people don't know that using our face towel on our face after cleansing can also be a form of exfoliation. So you want to make sure that when you are drying your face after cleansing that you are pat drying gently instead of rubbing or tugging on your skin, because we of course want to avoid exfoliating our skin before applying Tretinoin, but we also want to avoid getting any inflammation or irritation on our skin too. And that also brings me back to the makeup wipes. I say this on my channel a lot, but you want to avoid using makeup wipes because they already have a lot of irritating ingredients on their own. Trust me, they are not doing anything good for your skin anyway, and they do have the potential to cause irritation to your skin, and that irritation can in turn cause inflammation, and inflammation can also cause hyperpigmentation and acne. So it is just best to avoid all of that together. So when you're starting out with Tretinoin and you are cleansing your skin, it's best to keep it simple. I really like going in with a gentle cleansing balm first to get off all of that sunscreen or any makeup that I have, and I really like the Inculus Oat Cleansing Balm. It's really gentle and it's perfectly fine for sensitive skin as well. And then for my second cleanse or my main cleanser, I might go in with the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser, the La Roche-Posay Hydrating Cleanser, or my Allies of Skin Molecular Silk Amino Cleanser. Tip number two is to really just keep your skincare routine simple. So for your nighttime skincare routine using Tretinoin, when you're starting out, you're really just going to need your cleanser, your Tretinoin, and a really good hydrating moisturizer, and that's really it. When you're first starting out, there really is no need to layer 3 different serums onto your skin before going in with your Tretinoin. Your Tretinoin on its own is really going to go to work on your skin. It might lead to some dryness and flaking as well, so adding any actives into your skincare routine might actually increase your chances of irritation and it might complicate things further. So it's just best to keep it really simple when you're first starting out. You also want to keep in mind that going through this adjustment period with your tretinoin can take months for some people. This also means that it's best to use your AHAs and your BHAs as sparingly as possible when you're first starting out. I even recommend just avoiding them altogether for the first couple of weeks when you're using your tretinoin, and then once you start building up that tolerance and getting through that adjustment period, you can slowly add those exfoliating ingredients back into your skincare routine. Just make sure that when you are using those exfoliating ingredients that you are using them on nights when you are not using your tretinoin. Tip number 3 is to avoid applying your tretinoin onto damp skin. Now, applying any skincare ingredient onto damp skin will allow that skincare ingredient to penetrate deeper. There are situations where we want that to happen, but when it comes to your tretinoin, you really want to avoid that. So this means that if your skin is damp with water, an essence, or a serum, then your tretinoin will penetrate deeper into your skin, and that is going to increase your chances of irritation. So for that reason, it is just always best to wait for your skin to dry at least as much as possible before you go in with your tretinoin. I also got a few questions about your waiting time in between cleansing and applying your tretinoin. Now, there are some dermatologists and skin professionals that will say that it's best to wait 20 to 30 minutes after cleansing before going in with your tretinoin. But there are other skin professionals that say that it's not really necessary and you should really just focus on applying your tretinoin onto dry skin in general. So if you do notice that you are experiencing a little bit of extra irritation, you could always put that theory to the test and wait 20 to 30 minutes after cleansing before going in with your tretinoin and see if that reduces your irritation. Okay, tip number 4 is don't use your tretinoin every night, and this is a mistake that I see a lot of people make, and a lot of people have to scale it back when it comes to the amount of times that they're using their tretinoin in a week. It is really not necessary to use your tretinoin every night or even every other night to get a good result. There are even people who have used tretinoin for years that never get to the level of using it every single night. Sometimes people will start using their tretinoin and on day 1 they will apply it, and then by day 2 their skin will be fine, so they will apply it again. By day 3 they'll apply it again, and by day 4 their skin is irritated, it's flaking, it's dry. I actually recommend using your tretinoin no more than 2 to 3 times a week when you're first starting out, and listen to your skin. If you're using your tretinoin 3 times a week and your skin starts getting a little bit too irritated, then you can even push it back to 2 times a week. Over time, you will notice less irritation on your skin. You will notice less of that dryness and flaking because your skin will be building a tolerance. And when that happens, you can start increasing the amount of days that you use your tretinoin in a week. Tip number 5 is to find a really good hydrating moisturizer that works for you. Now, because of the side effects that are typically associated with using a tretinoin, you really want to use a nice hydrating moisturizer. The best type of moisturizer to use with your tretinoin is one that's going to help replenish your skin barrier. And this type of moisturizer is going to have ingredients like fatty acids, ceramides, cholesterol, and other hydrating ingredients that are really just going to help repair your skin barrier. And this is really going to be a key factor in lowering your chances of irritation. So I really like the La Roche-Posay Double Repair Moisturizer. I think it's a good option for sensitive skin as well. And then I also like the CeraVe Hydrating Moisturizer, and that's a really good, popular, budget-friendly option. And then I also really like the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream because it just has a really nice, rich formula. And now, speaking of moisturizers, when you are using your tretinoin, you might have those days when you are just having more irritation than usual. Maybe your skin is looking more flaky and you want to do something about it. In these situations, something really hydrating like a sleeping mask might really benefit you. A product that I really like using is the Paula's Choice Hydrating Treatment Mask, and I really like to apply this on top of my moisturizer just to give myself that extra layer of hydration. It's also really soothing, and it's perfectly fine for acne prone skin as well. I also want to quickly mention using occlusives like Aquaphor, Vaseline, and CeraVe Hydrating Ointment. These can be really helpful when you are applying your tretinoin. For example, with me, I tend to get a little bit more dryness around my mouth area, so before I apply my tretinoin, I will usually go in with Aquaphor and apply that around my mouth so that when I do apply my tretinoin, I am occluding that area from the tretinoin so that I end up not getting irritated in that area. And you could also apply those products to any areas that you are experiencing irritation to kind of calm them down as well. Now, my last tip before I get into how exactly to apply your tretinoin is to, of course, apply your SPF in the mornings. Using your tretinoin is going to make your skin photosensitive. Anytime anyone has ever asked me about using tretinoin on their skin, I always emphasize using sunscreen in the mornings. I even get a little bit annoying with it, I feel, because I've seen what happens to people's skin when they use their tretinoin at night and then they don't wear their sunscreen in the mornings, and it's just not pretty. It can lead to a lot of redness, that's sunburn, dryness, irritation, and you really just want to avoid that. And because your skin is going to be a little bit sensitized because of using the tretinoin, you might want to opt for a mineral sunscreen in the mornings because that's just going to be a better option for sensitive skin in general. For mineral sunscreen recommendations, I really love the Color Science sunscreen because they have a few different options and they tend to to dry clear on the skin, and a lot of different skin tones can use them without getting that white cast on your face. I also really love the Elta MD clear sunscreens, especially for those who have acne prone skin. The only thing about using the Elta MD clear sunscreen is because I have pretty tan skin, I prefer to use the tinted version. But if you have fair skin, then you can definitely just go with the normal untinted version as well. So how exactly do you apply tretinoin to your skin? I'm going to go over 4 methods, and depending on your skin sensitivity, you want to go with the option that you are most comfortable with. So the first method is the most traditional method, and it's the most common method. And to do this, you want to cleanse your skin, wait for it to dry, and then you want to take a pea-sized amount of tretinoin. And when you're first starting out, you can even get away with using a little bit less than a pea size as well. You want to evenly apply the tretinoin to your face, and to get that even application on your skin, you simply want to dab the tretinoin all over your face and then work section by section on your skin to completely blend in the tretinoin into your skin. And then once you've waited a few minutes for your tretinoin to absorb into your skin, you can then go in with your moisturizer. Method number 2 is the buffer method, and for this method you are essentially using your moisturizer to give yourself a buffer between your skin and your tretinoin so that you can lower your chances of irritation. If you are just starting out with tretinoin, I recommend going with the buffer method. And there are 2 different ways that you can go about doing the buffer method. The first way that you can do the buffer method is by cleansing your skin, wait for your skin to dry down, apply your moisturizer. You can let your moisturizer soak into your skin for a few minutes as well, and then you just evenly apply your tretinoin to your skin, and that is your skincare routine. The second way to do the buffer method is also known as the sandwich method, and this is the method that I recommend doing if you are just starting out. To do the sandwich method, you can cleanse your skin, wait for it to dry, apply a layer of moisturizer, give your moisturizer a minute or 2 to soak into your skin, evenly apply your tretinoin to your skin, and then give your tretinoin a minute or 2 to absorb into your skin, and then do another layer of moisturizer on top. And again, this is just my favorite way for beginners to apply their tretinoin, because not only are you getting that buffer from that first layer of moisturizer, but you're getting that extra layer of hydration on top of your tretinoin that's really going to help to minimize your chances of irritation. The next method is the mixing method, and this is a method that I don't typically recommend, but I do see that some people like to do this method. And with the mixing method, you essentially cleanse your skin, wait for it to dry, and then you apply a mixture of your tretinoin and your moisturizer onto your skin. The problem that you can run into with this is that if you are not mixing your tretinoin completely and perfectly into your moisturizer, then you might risk getting an uneven application of tretinoin on your skin. The fourth and final method that I'm going to talk about is short contact therapy, and this is not a very common method, but it can be very effective for those who have very sensitive skin. With this method, you want to cleanse your skin, wait for it to dry, and then apply 1/2 to 1 full piece size amount of tretinoin evenly to your skin. Leave that on your skin for 30 minutes and then rinse it off, and then apply your moisturizer. And like I said before, if you have very sensitive skin, this might be a beneficial option for you, because with this method you can gradually increase the amount of time that you are leaving the tretinoin on your skin, and it can help you build up a tolerance to the tretinoin very slowly. Okay, so those are 4 different methods of applying tretinoin to your skin, and that is actually everything that I have for you today in this beginner's video for using tretinoin. And remember, when it comes to using your tretinoin, stick with it, take it slow, and don't be afraid to scale it back if you're noticing a little bit too much irritation. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations for using tretinoin as a beginner, definitely leave that in the comments. And I've also seen that some of you have been DMing me on Instagram asking me your questions on skincare and using tretinoin. Definitely feel free to reach out to me through DMs anytime that you want. I love talking with you guys. But yeah, that is actually it for this video. I hope that it was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.